I recently ranked all the Mario power-ups, but decided to skip out on Mario Odyssey captures because they're so radically different. But today, I'm joined with Fearsome Fire to figure out which captures are the worst and which are the best.
This is based off a combination of how fun they are to use as well as how useful they are in the game.
So with that said, let's get her ranked. 47, Boulder. You literally just turn into a boulder. You push this out of the way to find an opening in a tree for some purple coins. Yippee, I guess. 46, Cactus. You just hop around with the cactus and underneath that is a moon. Well, that's nice and all. Touching the cactus hurts you. 45, Tree. It's literally the same thing as the cactus, except that you're a tree and you can't get hurt by touching it. Big step up, I know.
44, Bowser statue. Once again, it's like the tree and cactus, but you get to be a giant Bowser statue. And let's be honest, that's just cooler in general.
43, Manhole. With this, you can move a manhole a little bit and jump underground. Both of the manholes contain moons, in which you play through a sub-area to get them. 42, Taxi. Remember getting all excited about driving as a taxi in the trailers and realizing that all this does is trigger a cutscene to a level? Yeah, pretty sad, I know. But you do still turn into a taxi, so I can't complain that much. 41, Meat. I hope Mario doesn't get food poisoning by turning into raw meat. You basically just flop around and then Cockatiel swipes you up and throws you into a boiling pot. Doing this gets you a multi-moon, and it's way easier to get this compared to the moons from the manhole or taxi.
Number 40, Puzzle Part, Lake and Metro Kingdom. You play as a puzzle part and simply have to solve the puzzle. You can get 2 moons from the Lake and Metro Kingdom, and they're pretty fun to complete.
39, Picture Match Part, Mario and Goomba. This is very similar to the puzzle parts, but you're moving 2D pieces and making Mario or Goomba's face. What makes them slightly better is the fact that you can get 4 moons out of them compared to just 2. Plus, there's a bit more freedom, like being able to place the pictures down wherever you want to. 38, Mini Rocket. Let's be honest, the Mini Rocket is one of the lamest captures. You literally just hold B, feel a rumble, and are automatically sent to the sky. But the thing is, you do get a ton of moons while using the Mini Rocket, so in that regard it is pretty useful.
37, Spark Pylon. This is somewhat similar to the Mini Rocket in terms of moving around, but you zip around as an electric ball and Mario looks hilariously pissed. While you can skip them in some circumstances, being able to collect the coins and quickly traverse around is pretty awesome.
36, Zipper. By far the most random capture, the Zipper is basically a tool that lets you unlock more areas or even hidden coins and moons. It also does technically allow you to kill the little mini Goombas, which is the reason we chose to put it above the Spark Pylon.
35, Binoculars. Some of these kingdoms are quite large, so being able to use these to look around can be quite useful. Also, if you use this to zoom into a lone taxi, then you'll find yourself rewarded with a secret power moon. Don't question it.
34, Lakitu. It seems like this mad lad has retired from throwing spinies and has resorted to fishing them out of the desert. Seriously, he fishes in the strangest places, but he's pretty fun to use, even if he really doesn't do much. 33, Poison Piranha Plant. This is such a weird one to capture, because you can't just throw your hat at him. You have to kick a rock into his mouth and then you can throw Cappy at him. At this point, you go into first person and you can spit poison at enemies, but the poison can still hurt you once you leave, so you gotta be careful. 32, Ty-Foo. You turn into a big old puffy cloud and can float really slowly as well as blow gusts of wind. Ty-Foo is great for pushing things away like enemies or these giant pillars, but not much else.
31, Coin-Coffer. If you want a lot of coins, Coin-Coffer is your go-to enemy. By running around, you magically get loads of coins. You can also spit them out to kill enemies and break rocks.
30, RC Car. This is the taxi, but actually good. You transform into a normal-looking human and take control of the car. While there isn't a lot of areas to use this, it's still a ton of fun racing around tracks and trying to get fast times.
29, Knucklotec's Fist. And here is the only unique capture that comes from a boss. You turn into a giant hand and give the ugly face a knuckle sandwich. It's actually pretty similar to the Banzai Bill, which is an amazing capture, but it's only used in this one fight and the refight.
28, Fire Piranha Plant. Instead of spitting poison, now you shoot fire, which not only has more range, but more uses too, like lighting up some torches as an example. 27, Chargin Chuck. These big burly dudes aren't in a ton of Mario titles, but capturing them lets you run through things like rolling rocks without taking any damage. His biggest downside is that he can't jump, but there is this neat glitch using 2 players which allows you to gain infinite height when using 2 of these guys. Sadly, this glitch doesn't have any real practical use. 26. Goomba. These little brown guys can do a lot more than you'd expect. You can stack them up really tall to make Goombette fall in love, and they don't slip up on ice.
25. Paragoomba. They're similar to Goombas except you can fly. That might sound like a huge upgrade, and in a way it is, but you barely get any vertical height, which is kind of underwhelming.
24. Parabones. It's exactly the same as the Paragoomba, except you can use them for longer. Step on a Goomba and they're gone, but step on Parabones and reuse it as many times as you want. 23. Jizo. For a statue, you get way more out of this than you would expect. You can break through boxes, uncover hidden coins and items, remain invulnerable to spikes and enemies, and use them to keep P-switches held down. 22. Moe-Eye. By far the funkiest capture you could ask for. Moe-Eye lets you run around as an Easter Island head, and by flipping down your sunglasses you can see invisible platforms. You do move slower with them on though, so there's a balance of using his glasses and not. 21. Chain Chomp. We're going to be combining the small, big, and Broode's chain chomps since they all function the same. By tugging on your chain, you can fling this chompy guy towards a wall or even other chain chomps to destroy objects or make collisions. You know, now that I think about it, how on earth is a chain chomp's chain stretchy enough for this to even work? It's metal.
20. Cheep-Cheep. It's kind of incredible how much utilization the Cheep-Cheeps have. You can swim more fluidly and faster, you've got a tail swipe which hurts enemies, and for the best part, you don't have to worry about running out of breath.
19. Fork. Okay, hear me out. I know it's just a fork, but the flicking abilities you get from this is nuts. You're given an extremely good jump and can easily cling on to another like a chain reaction. The only negative is some of the forks only rotate 180 degrees instead of a full 360.
18. Pull. This is very similar to the fork, but more so focuses on your horizontal speed. Fun fact, the fastest way to physically move as Mario in this game is by flicking yourself off a pole and running afterwards. Plus, every pole can move in 360 degrees without any limitations.
17. Tropical Wiggler. That's right, screw those regular wigglers. The tropical ones are where it's at. You stretch your body out and cling onto the ground, allowing you to traverse weird land areas with ease and collect various items and moons with lightning speed. 16. Sherm. If you've ever dreamed of playing as a tank with a hat and mustache, then you're in luck because of Sherm's supreme ability of swiftly moving around and firing off fast bullets. It's so nice that you can use the gyrometer to help aim too. It makes aiming a lot more natural. And they somehow made a tank control like a tank, but also made that fun at the same time.
15. Letter. Okay, I know what you're thinking. The letter? What is this useful for other than to spell out the word Mario for a simple moon? Well, there's actually a glitch in the game which turns these things from bland and simple to extremely fun and entertaining, allowing you to get out of bounds, fly around at supersonic speeds, and access areas otherwise not possible. If you're interested in learning how to do this, then I highly recommend you check out the video on my channel which shows off everything you could ever want to know about the infamous letter glitch.
14. Lava Bubble. These darn bubbles were always a pain in Mario titles, so being able to capture them is nothing short of a miracle. You can jump and dash around in the lava and shoot out of cannons, making for an extremely powerful capture. 13. Shiverian. You gotta love these big bundles of joy. You only play as Shiverian in 2 tracks, but bouncing around is really exhilarating. The tracks are made in a way where you're trained to cut corners and plan when to use the smaller big bounces. He's just overall a really solid capture.
12. Hammer Bro. This is pretty similar to the hammer suit. You'll throw hammers and can hurt enemies or destroy hard rocks. There's also a version that throws pans, but sadly it's just a visual difference.
11. Fire Bro. It's the Hammer Bro, but you throw fireballs instead. So basically, it's the Fire Flower. But there's also this really insane glitch in the Wooded Kingdom which allows you to use them to climb up any wall with ease. 10. T-Rex. How can you not love this guy? You turn into a literal dinosaur and can crash through everything in your sight. There's also a relatively simple speedrun trick where by bouncing off this trampoline, you can leave the T-Rex and enter the boss fight earlier. 9. Uproot. Whoever thought of turning an onion into an enemy, you deserve a raise. This fella's ability is extending his legs high into the air, which is great for climbing and even pushing platforms up with his head.
8. Bowser. The one capture we all got spoiled by before the game came out, playing as Bowser in 3D is a pretty surreal experience. He can swipe at bricks, breathe fire, and has a pretty solid jump too. It does stink he's only used twice in the whole game, but he's still pretty great just to run around with.
7. Bullet Bill. A really unique capture which appears in many parts of the game, allowing you to fly and break whatever is in your path. You can shake your controller while flying with a Bullet Bill to gain extra speed and reach pretty far out places. Sadly, the Bullet Bill does have some pretty large limitations, being the fact that you're unable to fly vertically and the fact that there's a time limit on your flight in the air.
6. Banzai Bill. The Bullet Bill's older brother, the Banzai Bill is arguably the most fun capture in the entire game, allowing you to fly around and destroy anything in your path. Like the Bullet Bill, you're limited on your height and time flying in the air, however these limitations are much less prevalent. We were actually thinking about making this capture even higher on the list, but the fact that it's only available in 2 areas in the entire game makes it much harder to justify.
5. Frog. The first capture in the game happens to be one of the best. The frog gives you the simple ability to jump high, but oh boy does this come in handy. You can do a regular jump with the A button, or you can shake your controller to do a super frog jump. The frog is, without a doubt, the best capture to gain height in the entire game. 4. Gushen. The Gushen is a really fun and useful capture which lets you fly around at your leisure and hurt enemies with your water stream. However, it is a little limited in the sense that you need to touch back for more water to keep moving in the air, and the fact that you are limited with how high you can move off the ground without needing to touch the ground again. 3. Pokio. This is probably one of the most fun captures to use. It has the simple ability of sticking out your beak, which sounds useless at first, but is actually pretty all-encompassing in terms of what this allows you to do. You're able to kill enemies, activate secret moons, and even have the ability to quickly and easily traverse different types of wall structures by flinging yourself around them. 2. Glydon. This capture gives you the ability to glide. Glydon is found in a plethora of different kingdoms and areas, and he allows you to glide long distances to get to wherever you're looking to go. He also has a really good shake ability which allows you to glide much farther and barely lose any height while doing so. On top of these 2 abilities, there's a glitch with Glydon that can be utilized to gain infinite height, allowing you to get anywhere you want.
1. Yoshi. Yoshi takes the top spot since he pretty much has everything one could look for in a capture. You can use him to flutter jump, allowing you to get to places much more easily than you would otherwise, even with Cappy. Secondly, Yoshi has his tongue, which can be used in 3 different ways. The first is his ability to wall cling and wall climb. Second, it's a good defense against enemies, allowing you to gobble up whoever stands in your way. On top of eating enemies, you have the ability to eat fruit, which gives out extra power moons when you collect enough of them. And third, you can use his tongue to gain speed. That's right, you can actually stick out Yoshi's tongue with Y and then press Y again to grab onto the ground, allowing you to pull yourself forward. This lets you go much faster than you would regularly, making for some really fun jumps that may even be useful as you traverse through the game.
It was kinda crazy trying to categorize all these captures, since some of them are really similar and some of them are just really fantastic. But let us know what you think the best or worst captures are down below. With that said, go check out Fearsome Fire as he posts a lot of videos on Mario Odyssey as well as many other games. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time.